The Thai Baht, something a conversation started here in China amongst people looking maybe to travel to Thailand. It's putting them off. You're seeing that impacting tourism flows, but of course exports as well for Thailand. Does the Bank of Thailand have to intervene, do you think?
Look, I think they're obviously concerned about the relative strength of the Thai baht, but I think they also recognize that there's relatively little that they can do about it. They can intervene, of course, but I think they have one eye on sort of the intervention criteria from the US Treasury. They can sort of encourage more capital outflows to try and weaken the baht, but that's a very slow-moving process. And I think they'd be very reluctant to go down the path of any sort of capital controls to prevent inflows to limit the strength of the baht. So I think in some ways they'll probably cut rates. We do expect the Bank of Thailand to cut rates, but I don't think they'll do anything beyond that to try and weaken the baht. And I think for the time being, given their very large current account surplus, they probably have to tolerate a stronger currency for the time being.
You were talking about earlier about 2020 might be the year when the dollar finally kind of breaks down. We're going to get lower. How do you fade that dollar strength then? What do you actually buy? And how do you position? Yeah,
so I mean, the preferred trade for me always this year and going into next year is to be short dollar yen. We have a forecast of dollar yen moving close to 100 over the next several months. So I think that's kind of the best risk-reward trade because it benefits from a risk-off. Japanese flows we think will be supportive for the yen. And of course, if the dollar weakens, that helps. But I think the real question is at what point do you position for a weaker dollar versus Asian currencies? And again, I think the preference for me would be to be short dollars versus low-yielding Asian currencies, things like the Thai baht, maybe the Korean won at some point if we see a resolution in US-China trade tensions. But we have to wait for that to happen before we do that.